Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a Superman review.
Yep.
Yeah, we saw it last night. So I guess we got a chance to sleep on everything, but we're just gonna be giving our thoughts and yeah, how we felt about the movie. I'll start with the things that I didn't like first. First of it being the tone. I guess I thought the tone was a bit childish. I know Superman is supposed to be, everyone's hero, like, icon to kids and everything, but yeah, I guess the tone was just very childish, almost, I guess, cartoonish in a sense. Yeah, yeah, I thought it almost felt as though it was hard to feel real stakes in the movie or like real tension at any like real point. Even when he got beat, like it wasn't. I don't know, like especially since that's how they start the movie off, him getting beat. Like I guess it kind of lessens the impact, or I guess it makes you. They even say, "Oh, this is his first time getting beat," but just the way it looks, it just. I don't know. It
It's
almost
not
gives you the
believable.
impression.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost gives you the impression that this happens more often than not. I don't know. Um, so yeah, I think the tone of the movie was just yeah. I guess I would have liked something a little bit darker. Maybe that's not what they're going for with this new iteration of the DC universe, but I guess I'm used to something a little bit darker. I think the most tension in the movie was spoilers. Was when the dog Crypto was taken. I think that was probably the most tension I really felt. Yeah, in the movie,
But
because
even then, like it's because it's more of like, oh no, they took the mascot, so but no, it just didn't feel like you knew he'd save him. You knew the dog wasn't gonna die. If anything, oh no, they took the pet away. So like, if you feel bad for animals, then yeah, that's basically it. But I don't know, like
well, I think that's more of the leaning into the tone of the little kids thing that
yeah,
began. Like
yeah,
it's the whole like, oh, do you feel bad for animals? Do you feel like even like the little the kaiju that they called it, that it started out really small but it got bigger. Like I I didn't notice it at the time, but upon thinking back, yeah, that did feel very Guardians of the Galaxy 2, kind of like the intro with Groot and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it felt like it was just made for younger audiences, like those kinds of scenes and those kinds of I guess things to connect to.
yeah. I think James Gunn probably he saw how people just, I guess, just glaze Guardians of the Galaxy and the tone and all that stuff. And he's like, if we do that and then we mix it in with a super popular superhero, we should succeed. And then, yeah, that happened. So it didn't succeed. And I don't know, like, I don't want to say it was poor planning, but you just can't mix the goofiness into, especially the first like DC project you're trying to be taken seriously. This is supposed to like
Be
kickstart
the
the whole
serious
universe.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're just starting off with like this like gimmicky thing. And I actually saw today actually about how every film they're trying to do like a different tone. So the fact that this one just
Started off with
was the
this
gimmicky
tone.
one.
That's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It just yeah, I don't know. It's yeah. It's bad because you kind of feel sorry for the actor and
There's the
eh,
actors. The actors.
I
Yeah,
don't know if the
because
others even did too much. Like you had the gym guy, you had the ex, the one that was with Lex Luthor and stuff. So I don't know. I just mainly feel sorry for Superman because if this film flops, it's on him.
I
And
feel sorry for all of them because I'm pretty sure when you get cast as Lois Lane, you don't expect this to be what it is. Like I don't know, like or maybe you do. I don't. Maybe you do. I don't know. Yeah, but
I
like
think it
you
was just
said,
so
like
mixed that you just don't know what to expect. Because yeah, she's the main love interest, but then in the movie she wasn't really. And the only time they did it, oh yeah, force them to kiss on camera. Yeah, yeah, they
basically,
definitely
yeah.
are in love. but it just felt weird throughout. And then they do the typical breakup thing, and they were
Um,
picking at things, but they just forced it in and they accept it and they don't expand on it, they don't explore it. It just happens because it happens in the comics kind of thing.
Another thing I didn't like about the story was that the story felt rushed because we come into so much. We come into this origin story at the very end of it. I think they're trying to portray that he's still a novice Superman, like in this, like he's in the
Yeah.
first 5 years of his job, but we've come into what he's doing like at the end of it. Like it feels like he's already 75% done doing the novice thing, which I guess that's why it feels like he's underperforming in some parts of the movie. He does a good job of saving squirrels and looking after his dog and doing those things. Like even the scene when the kaiju is like about to crush the people in the building.
What you mean? Like, it just felt like at the beginning, because they did the whole, oh yeah, it's been 3 years, by the way. But then none of it feels like he's 3 years in. Like, if they would have said this is his first year, it would have been much more believable. But then, even then, like, you still have to add some origin, even if you don't want to explain the whole origin story. Because I think James Gunn is one of those that, oh, well, the character's already got so many forms of media where you see the origin, so we're just gonna skip it. I think he's one of those type of people. Even then, you can't skip everything because even yeah, like you said, his kind of the way he interacts with the Justice Gang or whatever they're called, we don't actually see why they even decided to align. Like, for example, the Green Lantern guy, I forget his name, guy something, but he just doesn't seem to like Superman too much. I know it's supposed to be like a joke between them, but like it's just like they paired up these guys. It almost feels like the Suicide Squad. They just yeah, these are the Suicide Squad. Go help Superman.
Yeah. Now, since we're talking about the characters, that takes me to my next point. I none of the characters were developed in their own way. Even Lois only truly got development as a part of Superman's like B story where he needed to be saved in that one instance. So especially Jimmy just having the intel leak with Eve, a lot of those things just felt like plot devices because we don't know these characters. We don't know why they do any. We haven't spent any of the time with these characters like at all. Like you kind of have like I guess general impressions like the one blonde one, Cat Grant, like she says, "Oh, I loved your article." So I guess that means that we're supposed to she likes Clark Kent, so we're supposed to like her. I guess that's how movies work now. But there's no
Yeah.
real development with these people. The portrayal of these characters just they didn't go deep enough into any of them to really
Yeah.
just justify, I guess, liking anyone.
I don't think it justifies this, like just the whole movie in general. Because again, they go like 8 points, for example, that they want to cover, and then out of 10, they probably explored each one like 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 5 out of 10, but none of them got even to an 8. There wasn't like a overall place that they want to take you or a story that they're trying to tell or like the character development that they're trying to show. It's just you end up you're at point A, you just skip the whole journey and you end up at the
Point,
destination
yeah,
just
point
because they
Z.
tell you to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in the middle, it just feels like these weird checkpoints.
Yeah.
I think that's why I don't really care for trailers anymore because it's like you watch a trailer, so you know what the key moments that you're waiting for in the movie are. So then, from throughout the whole movie, you're kind of just waiting for these points to happen. I want to say the scene at the end when Lois is piloting the flying
That
saucer
shit.
thing.
Yeah.
In the scene, they're spending time explaining how I guess Lex Luthor is corrupt while everyone is just like running for their lives. It's almost that main character syndrome thing that you just like see in other movies when you know someone isn't gonna die. Like, oh no, we're fine. Yeah, no, they can run, but no, we're fine. And
basically.
yeah, I guess it's things like that that it just the tone of the movie just there's no real stakes. Like
Well, since you mentioned that, I actually just thought it's kind of sad that. So yeah, you say everyone's running away and stuff, and usually in these superhero films, like you see the actual superheroes, especially if it's like a group of them, they'll be in the mess and trying to like advise people, like, oh yeah, go this way, run away, or they'll fly them, they'll carry multiple people and take them away. I don't know if they did that in this. Like they were just all on the same thing, and it just them not being more present on ground level and trying to actually help people. It made it feel not like you said, the stakes just weren't as high because if they don't care, why should we?
uh, I want to say I felt that moment when near the end of it. So the little kids are holding up the Superman thing. Everyone just starts chanting Superman, and I almost want to say that like they did that just. I'm not sure if that was on purpose, but I feel like if it was any other version, Superman would have been the one to show up. Like with
Yeah, I thought he'd show up as well.
yeah, like
Yeah, because usually like the hostages or whoever in the situation, they'll just be like hoping and praying that the guy or the hero, the female that they want to save them is there, and then they end up showing like the last second possible, and then it's supposed to be like a whole like
dramatic entrance.
yeah, and especially for this kid, like, oh, I was the one that believed in you. Look, I'm in the middle, I'm carrying your
Yeah.
flag, and then you showed up, and your whole symbol's supposed to be about hope, and then
One thing I can say that was decent, I guess it's with any like newer movie nowadays, was like the visuals. So like some of those scenes like did look pretty cool. I just don't think I cared for his portrayal of power, like the way they portrayed his powers. He only used the heat vision at the ends. I understand that this guy's on the pacifist Superman kind of thing, so he doesn't really like to hurt people or use force to lethal force to a certain degree. I do understand that. I'll say for like the one power that he just didn't seem to display at all was super speed. I'm not sure if that's because that's a power that like I guess it kind of breaks. It's kind of like cheating, like just not getting hit by anything and dodging everything. But just for who he is, like he just seemed to be getting hit by everything. He never dodged
yep,
anything. He
injured
never
by
avoided.
everything.
Never
Yeah.
avoided anything.
Well, I don't know if this is like too gimmicky, but that part where he was getting like, I think his clone was the one doing the heat vision on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why could he just not do it? He was getting beat up, and then the dog saved him, and then after that they started fighting a bit more, and then that thing happened where the clone like broke his shoulder or his arm, and then he still used that to his advantage to make the clone crash into that piece of whatever
And
that
then it
was
just
flying,
knocks
and
him
then
into a black hole.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, it was too convenient. The whole fight, he
basically,
basically was losing, and then some piece of metal just clutched up more than he did in this whole film. So
that does take me to one of the things I did like about the movie. I thought that that was a good turn. That was one of the only. This is one of the only points I really kind of felt surprised. I thought the fact that Ultraman was a clone of Superman. I did think that. I thought that was an interesting concept because it at least shows why he's losing to this guy so prominently. Like, um,
and yeah,
yeah,
when he got his base like destroyed, I
rated.
guess, because like the guy
Yeah,
destroyed all the robots and stuff. Like personally, I didn't like that because it was so easy for them to do it.
to do
But at least
everything.
you can understand a bit more how
How
they
it
did
was
it.
done.
I
It also
think,
explains why the clone, not the clone, I want to say it was the robot. Like as they enter the Fortress of Solitude, The robot thinks
Yeah,
he's Clark. He says, "Oh, I didn't think you'd be back." And then he looks up, sees they shouldn't be there, and then he realizes. So
it's too late. Yeah.
yeah, so I want at least that was thought out in the sense of the dialogue, you could say. Like, yeah, that like in the sense that that was a hint to figure out, oh, he had a
Yeah, so
clone of,
yeah, I liked it as well, but I think it was too soon. I think that now they've wasted that, so they can't use that later on, and they could have did it a lot better. I think with a lot more development, for Superman, and if he had obviously the people on side and we had seen it, because again we just get told that the people like him and then they don't like him because of the video and all of that stuff. But it's kind of like what's an so for example Luke Skywalker, he gets cloned, but it's like so far down the line that like it makes sense and it's something unique. Here they've wasted something that could have been even more important, and it
such
like the
a at
character,
the opening
it was
time.
a waste. Yeah,
Yeah,
like even if you compare it to what Marvel's doing, like they don't have any like hero that faces a clone directly. Yeah, that scroll thing, yeah, that's in the bin. But I think they had they I think they had something good with that idea. Um Especially considering it's Superman and they could have made like a cool suit for him, and I don't know, there was just a lot more there that they could have done.
I would have preferred if there was more of a like visual difference in their fight than the other people's fights. I want to say, because it when you think of like I guess Superman fighting another like thing that's as strong as him, I want to say you think about Doomsday, Darkseid, like those very big like menacing people. However, in this iteration, he doesn't really dominate any fight that he's in.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell how strong the opposer is because he's not ever using overwhelming force. So
Yeah.
it's you. There's no real margin to tell how strong the other person is as well. Which
Well, even for me, that like I'm not a huge Superman like fan, but like the fight that seemed like it was meant to be a huge moment just in comic books in general, or I don't know, just seeing a clone of one of the strongest superheroes, that should be a big deal, but it just didn't feel like it. Even when they were fighting, the scenery just didn't feel like it. They didn't even show, like people didn't even get to acknowledge that there was a second Superman technically. They pushed this social media thing so much in the movie, and then no one got to see the second one. And I feel like they could have done more with that. Could have even have dressed this guy up to look like Superman and then confuse everyone basically. I think yeah, they if they would have done it as a separate thing, they would have been able to explore more, I guess.
change to the backstory of his parents just sending him there to be some kind of conqueror thing.
Replacement. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really. That just doesn't seem necessary.
No, I think it was, but again, they ruined it because what they were trying to do was the whole like, yeah, I'm human, I belong here. Even if my initial purpose wasn't to do this, I want to do it because it's who I am and Earth has given me so much, blah, blah, blah. They tried to do that, right? But
Basically,
then throughout the whole film, they don't expand on that at all. And then you're just supposed to care about how he connects to Earth with that speech when he was giving it to Lex Luthor at the end. He was
yeah.
giving like a whole speech about, oh, you more than anyone should know about how humans should feel, blah, blah. So they connected again, and we've mentioned it throughout this whole video. Point A, point B, but they don't connect it. You're just supposed to go with it because they said so. So,
Yeah.
like, I can appreciate that they tried to change the parents' origin thing, but if it's not gonna be well done, then don't do it.
Since we were talking about Lex, I want to say in the beginning he had a very good presence as the character. Like
Yeah,
he seemed smart, he seemed intelligent, he seemed to manipulative and all those things. I think yeah, in hindsight, the him getting into the Fortress of Solitude, it just felt too easy. Um, that's probably where that started to decline for me. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
he himself didn't have a menacing factor to him. I think that's why he needed to take the dog and torture it and then also kill yeah, the I want to say he was a food worker or something like that, but that's why
Yeah,
he needed to kill him in front of him just to make this guy a menace in some way. Back to what you were saying with the movie and like the speeches. That speech isn't a bad speech in and of itself. I think
yeah,
it's just the fact that the movie has to, instead of showing you how he cares for humanity, how he wants to save people, and like those true messages and meaning, instead of taking the time and showing you those things through like story points, it makes it feel a bit preachy, I guess.
but yeah, the speech itself was good. I liked when he was actually talking to his dad when he went back home. Um, but even stuff like that, they ruined it with like the mom interrupting and calling him, I
Jokes.
forget, like mushy or
Mm-hmm.
whatever she was calling him. So it just felt like the bits were there, like the pieces of the puzzle were there, but then yeah, it'd be something that just always has to get in the way. The movie was actually good up until yeah certain points. I think for me it was when Lewis and Clark started doing the interview, the one at home. That's when
In the house.
the red
Yeah.
flag started appearing. Um, but like yeah, that the first Lex Luthor meeting that he had when he was talking to all those other leaders and stuff, that was actually really good. Um, and it done the thing where they need to keep you up to date and catch you up on everything. I think it did it well because they had the whole PowerPoint. Okay, these are my this is my army, this is who I am, this is what I work for, this is my plan, and they set it all out in a way that makes sense. And then like after that, he just kind of started declining. Like he just lost a lot of points was when he found out that Superman escaped, and then he started doing the whole like raging
Temper
thing,
tantrum.
and yeah, the acting for that was bad. Like he just they do the thing where like he'll get glazed on social media, but he was doing the thing of like if I scream or shout, people will think it's good acting. But it was kind of cringy, and I don't know, like even for myself, someone who's not too clued up on how that character should act, it just didn't seem very serious. And even when he was doing the serious stuff, it was behind the scenes. He never stood up to the media and just fully had a presence about him. For example, like he never went on a microphone or on a news stand or something like on live broadcast or anything and just said, "Yep, this is the plan. Bye bye, Superman." None of that. It was all kind of slimy behind the scenes, and then he's obviously just a regular guy. So once he's up against Superman, there's not much
Yes.
else because a lot of it was him trying to press Superman. He's trying to trap Superman. He's trying to do this to Superman, and Superman, he's kind of being chased but giving himself up. So even that kind of Tom and Jerry dynamic didn't make a lot of sense.
He's very reactive in this movie, but to some degree, you know they have a history. Since we just come into all these events so late, they we know these characters know each other, but we don't know how they know each other. We don't know to what degree they know each other. We just know that they have some previous relationship, and it
Yeah, like they didn't even mention like oh like they could have done the at least the cringy supervillain thing like oh I'm gonna get away with it unlike this situation and then name a situation and then maybe comic book fans will at least catch the reference or something. But here, just none of that. Even like we said before, he cloned Superman, but we don't even know how. Like we don't even get to see when he did it, how he did it. None of that really. I guess what do you think will happen going forwards, or what characters would you want to see, or even if it's Peacemaker related stuff, because obviously he had that cameo, or Supergirl, because again she had a cameo. Um,
true. This film, they basically developed the Justice League. Maybe not even in this film, but basically before this film, in a sense, because coming into this film, he already knows the quote unquote Justice Gang. So they have their tech person being Mr. Terrific. They have a Green Lantern, and then they have Hawk Girl. We don't know how those people came together. That I guess that would be
Yeah,
interesting
their
to find
chemistry
out later.
stinks. Do you think any of those members will die before we get the actual Justice League?
Possibly, if anyone's set up to die, it's definitely Guy Gardner. I can imagine just anyone at this point in time. To be honest, like with the tone of this movie and how many people that we've already seen, they technically added a new hero to the team in the form of Metamorpho. So it's hard for there to be someone I don't imagine in this. I can imagine Blue Beetle. I can basically just imagine anyone. I think the problem comes in the fact of when there's like a Thanos level, Dark Side level person, you almost can't imagine Superman dealing with that, not by himself.
I agree. I could. Like people will say, "Oh, give him a chance." Like he's probably like he's gonna do the whole kind of. I'm not. I don't want to say Spider-Man because Spider-Man's obviously meant to be like 18 in the MCU, but I guess people will try and save it by saying that yeah, he's kind of on the Robert Pattinson for Batman. Like he's still learning his craft, I guess. But I also get what you mean. Like, and I agree with it. They nerfed him or they made him look a bit too weak to the point that like there's not much difference between I guess if he was to fight like one of the other like Wonder Woman or Batman, it's not like he's the overwhelming favorite to win that fight, I guess. Doesn't like you said, he doesn't hold that kind of power that I had. But at the same time, the when you say that you imagine all the superheroes, it is a bad thing because it kind of for me it reminds me of this whole new Avengers thing. Like it doesn't feel like these guys are actually gonna genuinely earn their place to be in the group. As long as you have powers, you're in. That's what it kind of seems like. There's potential there, which is what we're saying was good. Like they tried to do these different things, but the execution was bad. And if they keep messing it up, it's just not gonna ever pay off. And then people are gonna be saying, "Oh, but potential, potential." It never pays off. And then the only good thing that these people have been saying about the movie never actually paid off. Again, this is another like kind of red flag from DC. Like they're just trying to force way too many connections too early on. I think Marvel they took more time with it. They let the hero do their thing in their own world, and then it felt like a connection of worlds when they did eventually
Meet
do
up
like
with
Avengers
someone else.
1.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think they had a formula. They could have copied Marvel, but I guess they're really trying to do the Avengers thing way too quick. Here we're just too much going on, too many heroes. Superman, who's meant to be the standout, doesn't
too
win a
little
single
time.
thing by himself. They do the whole mascot dog thing. Like it's overwhelming, but then in return for the overwhelming, there's not a lot. So just a lot was happening with no substance.
That was our thoughts on James Gunn's Superman movie. Thank you guys for making it this far into the video. Like if you like this kind of content, and please comment on other things you want to see the channel do. Thank you.